Sauceys, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sports. I'm Dom, and I'm with the great man Sauce, who is fired up today. I'm so happy.
Domma, let me just tell you, the fire is burning. The hobby is brighter than ever. People out there saying the bubble's about to burst. Well, I've got another word for you. It is booming. Booming.
Oh, mate, it is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, few things we're going to just nut out straight from the top, yeah? Straight from the top. The format's going to change. We're still going to keep our identity. We're not changing our identity, all right? Just calm down, listeners and viewers. So the format's going to change. We're going to try and smash out sports in about an hour and then allocate about an hour, hour and 15 to the hobby as much as we can. I know that's what everyone wants to hear. We've been flooded with DMs and stuff, and people love our takes on cards, and so that's what we want to bring to you. We want to bring our viewers and listeners what you want, and we will cater to you. That's what we do here at Double Coverage. The second thing, huge thank you to all of you. We love you so much. 500 followers on Instagram. We never thought this would be possible, but massive. We've got another major milestone coming up within the next week as well, which we're super, super proud of, and really looking forward to bringing that to you as well, along with a lot of guests coming up. Like, they are lining up freaking out the door. But we'll give you an insight into those when we get to Hobby Talk. But we've got everything. We've got everything this week again. NBA, NFL. We've got the Superbowl coming up on Monday, so we're going to cover that. UFC, EPL, Hobby Talk, which is jam-packed, as Saul said. It's booming, and he's pumped. And we're going to start at the NBA because he's going to probably launch into someone. I know exactly who he's launching into. He's back, baby. He's back on the radar at Double Coverage. But before he gets into that, let's hit the standings. In the East, our boys Philly, who we love so much, they have taken a 2.5 game lead in the East on top to Milwaukee in second. Third is Brooklyn. Fourth is Boston. Fifth, Indiana. Sixth, Atlanta. Seventh, still holding on to that playoff berth, is Cleveland. Eighth is Charlotte. Chicago, New York, 9th and 10th. Toronto, 11th. Orlando, 12th. My boys, the Heat, are struggling in 13th. Detroit, 14th. Washington finally got a win. In 15th, they are last in the East. And then over to the Western Conference, the Clippers on top with a 16-5 record, half a game behind the Utah Jazz, half a game behind Sauceys boys, the Lakers. Then we got Denver in fourth. They have flown straight up there, back into the top four in the West. Fifth is Memphis, which we love to see, as Saucy's other boy, JJJ, isn't even playing yet.
Wait till he's back, baby. Wait till he's back. Let's go.
Phoenix,
what were they? What did they finish? One game out. They got knocked out in the playoff. JJJ was injured. JJJ's playing. They made the bubble last year. They would have made the playoffs.
Exactly right.
It's so much potential with that team.
Phoenix has had Booker on ice, I think, the last couple of games as well, and they're starting to play right. Aiden's looked okay, but Chris Paul's looked really, really good. Golden State, who we thought were going to be a non-factor without Clay, Curry's just got Wiggins and Oubre into a well-oiled machine over there in Silicon Valley. Then we got Portland in 8th, Houston up to 9th. We'll talk about them in a second. San Antonio in 10th, Sacramento in 11th, 12th Oklahoma, which is overachieved for us so far. Dallas, who was severely underachieved, in 13th. Luka the Don clearly cannot do it by himself. New Orleans, second last, and bottom of the West, Minnesota. All right, Sauce, let's get into it. We're going to start with we're going to go straight to the East. I'm going to let you lead with it. He's been just itching to get onto the Brooklyn Nets. He's itching.
First of all, I'm going to go on. I'm going on the record right now. I'm saying this is on the record. First statement is the Brooklyn Nets will not win the championship this year, hands down. They aren't winning it. I don't care. You got KD, Kyrie, Harden. I don't care. You got three of the best scorers in the league, right? You got three of the top, potentially in the top 7 scorers in the league on one team, and then you got no bench, right? And then you also play no defense, you ain't winning shit. Domma, this is it was set up for me because I was already fired up on the point, and I wanted to come here and talk about it, that they play no defense because, you know me, Domma, I'll watch quite a few games, and when Harden went there, I'm like, oh, I want to see how the chemistry is. The chemistry on offense, let me just tell you, is absolutely elite. I think they've scored like 130 points that many times. But when you're giving up 149 points to the Washington Wizards, 149 to the Washington Wizards! Are you shitting me?
And that was in regulation. It wasn't even OT.
What the hell? What the hell? What defense are you playing? The best part is, I've seen the graphic today. It's been 9 games James Harden has played at the Brooklyn Nets. In those 9 games, they are 6-3. And statistically, they are the worst team in the league on defense.
Ever in the history of the NBA, I read something about. Right.
On the flip side, Oladipo has gone over to the Rockets. They are now the most elite defense in the league over the last 9 games, and they are 6-3, and they are just sitting 1 game out of playoff spot.
1 game out. Yep, 9th.
Look, I get it. James Harden, he brings so much. He brings so much on offense.
They're literally 1 game out of 5th seed Houston.
James Harden, I get it. He brings so much on offense, right? The thing about basketball, Domma, I don't know if James Harden knows this fact, but
be careful what you say here because you're going to go on record again. I know where you're leading.
There's 2 sides to play when you play basketball. One of them is called offense, and the other one is called defense. And the man, James Harden, well, let's just say, is it a coincidence that the team he's gone to now is the worst defense in the league over the last 9 games? Is it a coincidence? No. Because, what I pointed out when we started this podcast, and I've been on record this whole time, I've always said James Harden is a terrible defender. He's just terrible. He's just terrible. I know. Right?
And I've been on record saying that he's the greatest left-handed scorer in the history of the game, and he's one of the greatest guard defenders in the history of the league. As simple as that. I've said it from the start, and I'm gonna stand by it.
Oh,
now, people aren't gonna like that because, he's a superstar, and everyone's got they got bloody soft feelings these days, and they soak it up. Give me a spell, mate. Sauce, you said something pre-show. I want you to go on record and say it about James Harden and his status in the league. You have to put on record.
Look, James Harden and what he does on the offensive side of the ball is elite, but he has to be one of the most overrated, overhyped guys to ever play in the NBA. I don't care what you say, because for me, not having that least of an impact on defense is so much of a detriment to your team's success that we've seen. Where's he gotten? How many championships has he won? How many different teammates has he been through? And it's always the other people's fault. It's always CP3. It was his fault. Russ's fault. Who else did he kick out of Houston?
It's Kyrie's fault this time. Cherry's in the comments, mate. They've given us the eyes. Yeah, I love it. We see you. We see you out there. Don't know, man. Brooklyn. I completely agree with everything you said. There hasn't been too much going on in the NBA. It's typical regular season stuff, and to be honest, when it's typical regular season stuff, this crap sticks out like a sore thumb. But on a brighter note, I feel so much better now for the fact that I sold my Nikola Jokic rookie card after he dropped 47. He's just absolutely dominated this season. It makes me just feel really good inside that I probably could have held on to that card. I'm a dumb fuck. I swear, sometimes I got good value for it, but seriously.
Oh, you got good value on what you paid for it, which was absolutely zilch, Domma. You got it for free. So
no, not really. I pulled it from.
You pulled it from a box. Okay.
I pulled it.
Yeah, but and what was the box price when you bought it?
$210.
Let's wait. What year is Jokic? Let me just have a look at the box price and see what that's trending for.
13, 14 or 14, 15 or whatever it is. Is
oh
210 for Prism. There's people listening right now going, "You're talking shit." Did
It
you
was
steal the box?
Domma, was that a hobby box? Or was it a
I'm
retail
not sure.
box?
I'm not sure. I shouldn't have thrown the box out. I could have just sold the empty box for freaking $1,000. It had AD on the front too. It would have gone for a bit. He's won a title. Bloody unbelievable. I swear, like, yeah, 210 I paid. Jokic just played really well. He had 47 yesterday.
And
He's
I
been
sent
killing,
out a tweet,
he's been
Domma,
killing
and
himself.
the tweet was just simply, Jokic is a gun, plain and simple.
He is.
The guy's a
He's a
gun.
super mate.
I would love to have him on my team. He is an absolute freak. Like people get on him for passing too much, but he just showed that if he wants to score, he can score with the best of them. He's got
100%.
that many different options on the offensive end. It's ridiculous. And then he has literally passing like skills like Magic Johnson. Like
Oh, it's actually mind-boggling. It seriously sometimes just becomes beyond the joke how good he is. But that's pretty much it for the basketball. Like, not much has been happening. I know Bradley Beal, he's his streak of losses after putting up some of the most ridiculous numbers we've seen in a long time finally ended, and Westbrook top scored in that game, and he hit a clutch three off a steal saw. I can't believe Westbrook hit a three. But they won because he didn't have a triple double. He missed out off 2 assists. That's why. If he got the triple double, they would have found some way to lose that. But that's pretty much it. We'll get to the league leaders while Sauce is looking up this box that I bought for 210, the value of it.
Well, I'm trying to find a hobby box, but I can't find a hobby box. But I did find a multi-cello box sealed,
Yeah.
and it sold for 3.3k USD. So
Yeah, well,
if that's an
fuck.
indicator on the box, Domma,
I think mine's AD. Is Jokic AD? No, Jokic is
it had Anthony Davis on the front. Is that
Davis.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
let's try to find one on eBay. Keep going.
yeah. Anyway, league leaders. The points: Beal 34.9, KD 30.9, Lillard 28.9. Our boy Joel Embiid 28.3, Curry 27.7, rebounds Drummond 15.1, Capella 14.4, Gobert 13.8, Aiden up almost to that 13 rebound a game mark, Sabonis, Saucy's boy with 12, then with the assists, Harden with 11.1, Luka the Don 9.4, Trae Young 9, CP3 8.7, Jokic 8.6, and the blocks. Miles Turner still averaging 3.9 blocks a game, which is pretty impressive. 2.7 of Rudy Gobert, Capella 2.4, who's played really well this season. Chris Boucher 2, and AD almost up to 2 blocks a game, which is good for Saucy's boys. So that's pretty much it, mate. Did you get a hold of that box, or
I could only find the cello box, and that was, as I said, 3.3k. I'm having a look at a few other different options. We'll see if I can come up with something.
Anyway, coming up next, EPL. We forgot to record. We're back. EPL. Let's go through it. The rest of day 20. Nah, Sauce and I are just having a laugh. We make the same rookie mistake every week when we fucking do this podcast. But anyway, EPL, day 20. Burnley versus Villa, 3-2 to Burnley. Chelsea Wolves drew 0-0. Brighton Fulham 0-0. Everton Leicester 1-1. Man United lost to Sheffield 2-1. Tottenham were defeated by Liverpool 3-1. Fuck me, I swear. That's just done me. That's done me in this segment. That score, I was watching that game. I'm not even going to get into it. Day 21 games. Everton versus Newcastle. Newcastle won 2-0. Palace beat Wolves 1-0. City beat Sheffield 1-0. West Brom Fulham 2-2. Arsenal United 0-0. That was good. You beat us, and we drew, so we couldn't beat you at all this year, this season. That was great. Southampton lost to Villa 1-0. Chelsea beat Burnley 2-0. They're back on the winners list with Tuchel Leeds beat Leicester 3-1. My boy Paddy Bamford back on the scoring sheet in that game. Liverpool smacked West Ham 3-1, which Liverpool's shitting me at the moment because they're ebbing and flowing. They play 6 weeks of shit football and then they just start dominating again and just
Yeah, but
killing
Klopp
teams.
did come on the record and say, we weren't playing the football that we know that we can put out and put it to
And then,
teams. And he said, that's not Liverpool, and that's and when he says that line, people know what he means. Yeah, like you got to understand that Liverpool's been the best side in the
oh,
world
yeah,
over the last 2 years. Yeah,
100%.
they won Champions
100%.
League, so you can't deny that fact. But on another note, Dom, I will take that small win. Taking no losses to Manchester United this season. That's a small win on an absolutely dreadful start to the season that was for Arsenal. Besides that highlight of
Hey,
beating you guys,
playing so well.
but yeah, we are playing much better. And is
We've been
is
shit.
it a surprise that it comes down to just effort? It just looks like we're giving more effort, Domma. And not for anything, we're just doing the basic fundamentals. In that attacking third, we weren't linking the passing together. We weren't trying to go forward a lot of sideways action. That doesn't get you anywhere. You got to look to pierce the. Have those piercing players that play the pass, pick up the ball. Emmanuel Smith Rowe, the guy, you just got to keep giving him games. It's got to the point. Arteta's given him that much confidence that he's now getting rested in the cup games, and he's keeping him for the Premier League. So
Yeah.
he's up there for Arteta, and for me too. You got to keep playing him and Saka. Unfortunately, Saka's I think got an injury, and
Yeah.
once he's back, he's definitely first choice over Pepe every day of the week for me. And we're still missing Aubameyang, so bright light, and we're doing okay. But, after I absolutely drilled us earlier on in the season, and rightfully so, they've turned it around and we have potential to finish on top of Tottenham, which is all I can ask for this season. All I can ask for.
Yeah, 100%. Last game in that fixture was Brighton defeated Tottenham 1-0. Now, we've got a few games coming up before next week. Next week's pod, that is. We've got Sheffield versus West Brom, Wolves v Arsenal, United versus Southampton, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Burnley versus Man City, Fulham versus Leicester, Leeds, Everton, Villa, West Ham, Liverpool, Brighton, Spurs, Chelsea, Villa, Arsenal. That'll be a great game. Burnley, Brighton, Newcastle, Southampton, Fulham, West Ham, Man United, Everton. Fuck, so we've got Southampton, Tottenham, West Brom, Wolves, Leicester, Liverpool, City on Monday. It's going to be a great game. Sheffield versus Chelsea. And the last one before the pod, our next one, is Leeds versus Palace. So, the table at the moment, after United's shithouse United performance. Now, there's a guy out there, one of our good friends in his show. He's not going to like what I'm about to say, but Anthony, at Anthony Collects on Instagram. I could be off United again. He's gonna jump down my throat and be like, "You bandwagon,
Absolutely.
bunny hoppers, Man United supporter." No, I'm just kidding. I'll stick by my boys. That loss against Sheffield was terrible. It was off a terrible defensive clearance. I don't know if you saw it,
Yeah,
but
seen it. It's horrendous.
stood around Henderson. Henderson just booted it, not even out of bounds. He just kicked it outside the box, and then terrible. And we obviously drew to Arsenal. Now City have a game in hand, and they're 3 points clear on top.
They're looking good, and Pep has got them firing. And the part about this that's scary is Kevin De Bruyne. He's still injured. He's still injured. The best player on their whole team is injured, and they're on top by 3 points.
But they've had guys dominate, like Phil Foden's been a massive revelation. That's a guy, honestly, it's not buying into the hype, but if you can get a hold of some of Phil Foden's cards, that guy looks like he can become anything.
Yeah.
It's just it's a projecting thing there, just hoping that he becomes good, but...
Yeah, but what
dude,
what better way to come up, in that team, learning from the great players that he's got around him. Not only that, but learning from Pep, the one and only Pep Guardiola.
100%.
You're set up for success. You know, you got to understand these things. And he's playing regular games, not like he's sitting on the bench. And that's
No,
where you
and he's
learn the most. You learn the most by playing. And
he scored some crucial goals for Tottenham this season, like game-winning
City.
goals as well. So he's been very, very good. Let's go to the table. City on top, 44 points. United second with 41. Liverpool third with 40. Leicester fourth, 39. West Ham fifth. Tottenham sixth. Chelsea seventh. Everton eighth. Villa ninth. Arsenal are in 10th. Southampton 11th. Leeds 12th, Palace 13th, Wolves 14th, Newcastle 15th, Burnley 16th, Brighton 17th, Fulham 18th, West Brom 19th, and Sheffield, who are last, who beat United, have no chance with 13 points to get out of relegation, and it's not happening. So they are done and dusted, as we've been saying for the last bloody 8 weeks. So nothing's changed there. So, yeah, the last thing I did want to touch on, we spoke about the great man on a podcast. We actually led with this when Messi was somehow going to be fucking transferred to City for $1 billion. But during the week, his contract came out. I'll tell you what, I would have taken the $1 billion because Messi without a transfer fee, so if he walks out on a free transfer, his contract is worth £555 million. That's his contract, not a transfer fee. That's what's come out during the week. That is just ridiculous. So to give you
Here we go.
an idea
Shit.
to what pounds is to AUD, 550. Whoop, that's 6 zeros. That's almost $1 billion for his contract. And because we got a lot of listeners over in the US, let's that is 753 million USD. So that's his contract. That's not per season. Like, relax. He's not going to get $1 billion a season. But that's what they're saying a contract could be worth.
Go buy your rookie cards. You increase that even more, Lionel.
Yeah, exactly right. Go buy them. Unbelievable. And another thing that really... I actually need to touch on this because I was listening to The Herd today and it really pissed me off.
Oh, here we go.
Here
we go.
This pissed me off. You know what? Fuck, I've got this for Hobby Talk, but I'm going to read this shit because I actually I'm not because I don't know what Messi's accolades are. But I got so upset listening to our boy, well, my boy Colin. I love him. He did GOAT versus GOAT was the segment. So it was Tom Brady against different GOATs of the game. And he was picking who's the better GOAT. So out of all the GOATs he mentioned, Phelps, LeBron, and Jordan trumped Brady as a GOAT of their like potential GOATs. But the thing that annoyed me was they put LeBron and Jordan as potential GOATs. And they went across and they got to Lionel Messi. And he goes, Brady's better than Messi for the fact that Messi hasn't won a World Cup. Now, that's not the part that pisses me off, Sauce. It's the fact that they put Messi as the GOAT of soccer and not my boy, Cristiano fucking Ronaldo. That's the part that pissed me off. I said, all right, I heard Messi. He was like the second name read. Like, I know Colin's list and the way he does it. There'd be probably like 8 people in this. You know, LeBron's mentioned, Jordan's mentioned. Well, you know what? He might even mention another soccer player. This would be great. Tiger Woods mentioned. Michael Phelps mentioned. That's the segment, guys. Where the fuck's Ronaldo? Come on, man. Where's Ronaldo? That's the GOAT. You missed the most vital GOAT of the sport, mate. The guy that's actually won a European title. Oh, no, an international title. Ronaldo. Anyway, that pissed me off. I just thought I'd just air that off, you know, because I didn't get my Ronaldo fix last week. So got to get it back this week. Anyway,
he deserved to be on the list. He deserved to be on the list.
Mate, he should have been better than all of them. He is better than all of them. I don't care. 23 gold medals for Phelps. What's that? Great Cristiano Ronaldo, baby. Come on, man. Anyway, coming up next, we've got UFC. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. There was no card this week, but we're previewing this week's card. And Saucy, there's a ripper main eventing.
All right, here we go. We're going to preview the main card, lightweight division, Carlos Diego Ferreira against Benil Dariush. I think that will be a great bout. I'm
Oh,
excited.
Dariush has been...
Yeah, Dariush has been solid in his last few. Good bout to watch. Next one up, bantamweight division, Cody Stamann versus Andre I think that he's silent. Flyweight division, Alexandre Panjoya versus Manel Carpe. Women bantamweight, you got Marion Renou versus Macy Chiasson. Bantamweight division, you got Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. That's going to be a cracking fight, co-main event. Both these guys go hard, and yeah, I think there's some really good fights on this card. So even though it's not obviously a main card, a main UFC event, it's just a fight night. Still an absolutely packed card and definitely one to watch. And last but not least, we're Domma. What do I say every time? When these big boys fight, when the big boys fight, you watch, because it is some of the most entertaining stuff. The blows that are thrown, and these two guys that are fighting, Alistair Overeem and Alexander Volkov, they both throw hammers. And it's going to be a massive fight. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we've got them two record. Alistair Overeem, professional MMA record is 47-18. And I think, it says 1 in NC. I don't know what that means. I think that might be a draw. I'm not.
No contest.
No contest. Okay. I think that's exactly what it means. And then Alexander Volkov, 32-8.
He's a machine. Both guys are machines, mate.
It's going to be a good fight. So definitely one to watch this weekend. And, to note, which we'll just touch on here briefly, Domma, is obviously we've found out during the week, news out of the UFC in regards to cards, Panini gaining the rights. No better time to mention it than at the end of the UFC segment. That is going to be huge, and
it's going to be big.
Even though you hate saying it, but have a look at what the Prism effect has done across the Panini landscape. Prism UFC to hit next, going to be huge. Absolutely huge.
100%.
Absolutely huge.
Completely agree.
Especially with now UFC coming on onto the radar of people. Gary Vee doing his over under sort of on UFC, and you've had our boys Cherry talking about UFC cards. Anthony collects massively, talking about UFC cards. So it's on the radar of more and more people, and it's sort of been an underground thing for a while, and a lot of people that I know that got priced out of NBA, buying NBA boxes, started buying UFC stuff because they just felt it was a better price and more value than NBA, and that's probably worked out for them now. And that opportunity 100%. To buy UFC product, where NBA boxes, which were once you could buy stuff for $300, now coming onto the market at $1,200, they chose to go to UFC. So massive stuff. But UFC fight night, Overeem, Volkov, heavyweights, must tune in this Sunday.
Let's go.
Main card starts at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Done. Very nice sauce. All right, coming up next, we preview the biggest football game of the season. So stay tuned. All right, Sauce, back. Here we go. Biggest football game of the season and one of the biggest events on planet Earth. The Super Bowl is here. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. You got the GOAT himself, 43 years of age, in his 10th Super Bowl versus the GOATed one, touted to be the next GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. So it's going to be great. Both loaded rosters. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, And Le'Veon Bell's most likely going to play.
Yeah, I think he's going to
On
suit up. There is, a few obviously concerns on the offensive tackles, both
Yeah,
both being injured, the left and right side. So is that going to be a factor? Probably. I think I heard a stat where it's like 60% of his starting offensive line from last season is not there. That played in the Super Bowl. He's got his two regular tackles, which are both out. Which if and I said, and I'll say this here, if the Bucks can get that early pressure on Mahomes and make him doubt himself, and you know, force his hand in a sense that they don't allow him to get out, and extend the plays as they like to say.
yeah, 100%.
Because when you allow that stuff to happen with my homeboy, sorry, he's
He's a
just
wizard,
that
mate.
talented. He's just that talented. He will
He's the
carve you
wizard, mate.
up. He will carve you up.
100%.
So
100%. It's going to be interesting to see Antonio Brown, another guy who hasn't played. He's definitely going to come back into the lineup. One guy who was, I reckon, one of the best pickups of the season, Leonard Fournette from the Jacksonville Jags, as the running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady and him are loving life. Yeah, he's just been running like a monster. He's looking like he's back to his best. He's got all those weapons. Gronk's there. Let's just put it this way. Gronk's there as a target, but to have Gronk as a target is such a luxury. They're that stacked. They've got Godwin, Evans, Gronkowski, Fournette, Antonio Brown. Like, this team is stacked. Absolutely stacked, Sauce.
one thing to note,
gonna be an
Domma, is the Chiefs' red zone defense is very subpar, and they have been pretty bad all season. It's just that offense has so much firepower that overshadows that their red zone defense is, I believe, it's last in the league. So I think it's going to be a tussle. It's going to be a massive tussle. I don't know who to pick. It's we'll obviously give our prediction at the concluding before we end the segment, but it's just the story in the Super Bowl, as you've already said, is just the one is it's just like is this the passing of the torch where Mahomes beats Brady? It's a bit of a passing of the torch. The new GOAT in town. What, two Super Bowls in his first 3 seasons. MVP already, but stacked behind him. He's building a Hall of Fame career already. And what, he's 4 seasons in to his career.
They're saying if you there's already talks, like listening to American talkback radio, that if he does beat Brady, he potentially could have cemented himself as almost the GOAT of the sport.
Oh, shut the hell up.
That's what they're saying.
Shut the hell up. Goatness is sustained success, Domma. And, not for anything, have a look at Brady. Imagine if Brady wins this Super Bowl. He's hands down the best quarterback to ever walk the planet. Hands down. Everyone thought the system was Belichick, and without Belichick, Brady's nothing. Here he goes to a team that were terrible, absolutely subpar, changes there. This is how much of a GOAT he is. This is how much. Let's just say this: when people found out that he was going to Tampa Bay, got players, they called their agents and said, "I want to go to Tampa Bay." And these aren't shit players; these are good players. They said, "I want to go to Tampa Bay. Yeah, I want to play with Tom Brady." Right? Why? Because he knows that they will get further with Tom Brady than any other person or any other quarterback in the league.
Even at 43. So, but my prediction for this, Sauce, I reckon that the goated one, Mahomes. I've been pretty good with these picks, except for Cleveland. No, I was all right with Cleveland. I reckon...
Did you pick Bills?
What do you mean Bills? Against who? Chiefs? Fucking oath I did.
You fucking lemon. was going to say, you try to pull one over my eyes, buddy. You picked the Bills, and I said, mate, you've lost the plot, mate. It was nearly time to give you the lemon of the week, mate. It's right there and then.
I'm gonna write him off. I'm going goat all the way. I love goats. I want to be able to say that I saw Tom Brady. Well, I am. Whether he wins this or he doesn't, I've seen him win his last Super Bowl anyway. But I reckon it'll just top off this fairy tale of what could have been.
If he wins the Super Bowl, does he retire?
No, he plays again. But I just want people to think about this. What could have been Tom Brady's career? I understand he's had the best career and he's the GOAT. He's had the GOAT of all careers. But what could have been Tom Brady's career if he had all these weapons for his whole career? If he wins this, he wins 7. Would he have walked away with 7? Or would he have won 10?
It's crazy.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Belichick renowned for being an absolute cheapskate.
But that is credit to Bill Belichick and his coaching style and his system. Like, those guys work. But it also shows how good of a quarterback, like you said, Sauce, Tom Brady is. And just the aura that he brings with him to go to another franchise at 43 years old. Any other person would have already been retired, mate. Riding off into the sunset.
You know.
And like you said, people wanted to come play. So I'm going 28, 25 bucks. Field goal win. But I don't think Tom Brady's ever won by more than 3 points in a Super Bowl.
Not a bad stat.
Not
a bad stat. But I'll just say this, right, Domma? I'll just say this, right? You know, everyone, had their perception of Michael Jordan, right? And you watch the Last Dance doco series, and you seen what, that man would do anything to win. He yelled at teammates. He put it on them. Got in their face. Tom Brady's no different in that manner. Tom Brady, he drives standards at that football club. He came to Tampa Bay, an absolute laughingstock of the NFL. Absolute laughingstock. And he's taken him to a Super Bowl. In his first season. Like, it just goes to show that there's just people out there and guys who play sport that they're just on another level to everyone else that steps onto that same field or same court or same arena or whatever, right? They're just a different standard. They are just that much better at everything that they do
than anyone else.
And people and guys see that, and they go, "Wow, really? I think I've been going hard." Not at all. Not at all. So, it just amazes me, man. It just amazes me. And as I said, I'm going Brady all the way.
Oh.
TB, Tom Brady for number 7. And let's go by 2 points. Touchback. We're going for a touchback. That defense is going to get to my homeboy.
What is it? What's the final
score? We'll go 27-29. Is that possible?
I was wrong, by the way. Yeah. I was wrong, by the way. Brady's average is 5 points.
Okay.
Is the average.
Winning
margin in the Super Bowl is 5 for TB. So I apologize. 3 of his 6 Super Bowls have been 3 or
27-29 is the most ridiculous score line prediction I think anyone could give, because it's they'd have to miss an extra point.
Well, chuck a cheeky bet on it, mate.
Oh.
You could pull off a highway.
I was having a look. Look, Domma. Was in work today. Had a look at the roster. Great news. Got Monday off, so I'll be watching it live. And don't worry, I'll be putting a few bets on. I'll share it out to the socials.
Oh, well, guess you'll be all over the double coverage socials then on Monday.
That's it. Could be live. Log on live at halftime, I reckon. We'll see how it goes.
You should go live, mate. That'd be elite. Unfortunately, I am
Parked in front of the desk.
not having the day off. Yeah, park in front of the desk. But that's okay. I'll watch the replay when I get home. But we'll see what happens. So we're both gone Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl. Brady wins his 7th. Just before we finish up, massive move in the NFL with Stafford joining the Rams. I know it caught a lot of people off guard. I was listening, obviously, to Colin today, and he was saying that the turning point was when they lost to the Jets, because McVay called out Goff after that game. It's the first time and only time he's ever done it, and Colin was saying that most likely was the point when he jumped off of his bandwagon throughout the season. And then they lost to San Francisco with Nick Mullins as the QB. No, Jimmy G. They had their full squad, and yeah, it's pretty much all over after that.
Oh,
We'll
I think the Lions got the better end of that deal. I genuinely have a look at all the picks and everything they got, and you're handing over what, a 30? What is he? 33, 34, 32?
No, 31.
31-year-old Matt Stafford,
30 turning 31, I think.
Yeah. I still think Goff's the better QB, and with all those picks as well, it just seems like the better deal. But
time will tell,
we'll see.
Mate. Time will tell.
I actually don't think that will be the only blockbuster trade of QBs
Sean
this season.
Watson's still there. Sean Watson's still there, and probably a mega deal for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you caught it during the week.
Heard it.
There was a pickup truck driving around Green Bay. A guy got snapped and he was drinking alcohol out the back of the pickup truck, and everyone's like, "Oh, that looked like Aaron Rodgers." He came out and said it was him, and in David Bakhtiari's truck. So very funny. He's definitely all Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. But beautiful Sauce. All the best to Tampa Bay and Kansas City fans out there, and we'll cover either the goated one or the GOAT and their win next week on the pod. All right, so coming up next, we've got a new segment, but we're not going to reveal it just yet. We'll just go straight to it. So stay tuned.
We're up. We ain't going anywhere, mate.
We're what? Oh, you what? Sauce is bringing shit on me live here.
No, I don't have.
Oh, he hasn't got the change.
I haven't got the changeover, mate. So we're staying live.
Now, Sauce. This is a jointed effort, and it gives us reason to do some research. You know, we like to have a laugh here at Double Coverage, but it's formed itself into its own segment.
And next week I will have the changeover. I'll have the changeover ready.
And yeah, but we do have the graphic to put on.
We do have the
once we give out the Le Mans of the week is now its own segment on Double Coverage Podcast. So
we had to bring it back. We haven't had a Le Mans. You know, it hasn't been consistent, but we thought, you know, there's that many Le Mans out there that it is easy. It is easy to give a Le Mans of the week. It is very, very easy.
We could just give it a Harden every week if we wanted to, but we're not. We're not. This week we're going to give it to. We're going to talk about Hobby Talk, but we're not, because we're going to give him the Le Mans of the week, because he kind of came from what he said was constructive to a point, and made sense. And it was very divisive, in the hobby. And a lot of people were backing him, and then people were flaming him. And as you can tell, he's about to get flamed here. He's about to cop the Le Mans of the week. But the reason you're copping the Le Mans of the week is because you gave your prediction on what you think's going to happen to the NBA card market, and then followed it up with a deal for your business, saying if you sign up, we'll give you this, but on a discounted rate with a code. That's what he followed up his statement with. So it just looks like it was the biggest advertising scam on the fucking planet. So to our great mate, Vegas Dave, Sauce,
You, sir, are a lemon.
Peanut. Absolute
Absolute
peanut.
lemon. Absolute
He is a
lemon.
lemon and a half.
He's just
Okay.
talk about marketing 101. Marketing 101. Let's just say the most ridiculous fucking comment, and then just once I've got a million people, a million impressions, let's just fucking drop a little promo link. Sign up to my this and this for discounted rate.
Fuck off.
Fucking lemon of the week, hands down.
Come on, man. You can't do that shit, dickhead.
And you know what? He puts that out there. He puts that out there. You like, look, just my opinion. He says 24 to 36 months, right? It gives a very vague timeline, right? That's fine, right? He has also he did also if anyone watched Ken Golden's thing, he did say to call up Ken and say you're gonna have the best year of your life, and not for anything, Ken had record sales in the last week. If anyone's been following this on the socials at his auction house, and some real obviously we've seen the record sales that it's gone through, but just to say ridiculous shit like that, and then just follow it up with an absolute plug, you just look like a lemon, absolute lemon, man.
And that's like Saucy saying James Harden must be one of the most overrated players in the history of the NBA. And you can follow double coverage on Instagram at DBL coverage _. That's the exact same fucking thing. Come on, man. You can't do that shit. Oh, fucking clown. Anyway, he's the first.
He's the first official lemon of the week, mate. Lemon.
Oh, mate, you've copped it. Vegas Dave, congratulations. You are a lemon. So coming up next, we'll continue that hobby talk in the hobby talk segment. So stay tuned. A lot to get through.
I can't stop laughing, man.
Let's get straight into it. BGS finally.
Hallelujah! What we've been asking for, Domma. Wow.
It wasn't to the greatest in depth as we would have liked, but they finally came out and addressed this slab issue. Funnily enough, they wanted to do their research, and it took them 3.5 months or whatever the hell it was, 2.5 months to compile all this shit after we were telling them and everyone else was telling them for 3 months. You've got to make a comment. Massive props, though, because we do want to give a shout out to one of our friends of the show, Card Porn. Got the shout out there, and they made it clear that it came onto their radar because of the Card Porn account.
We've been telling you, we ain't sharing accounts that we don't think bring value to you as a hobbyist, as a collector, as an investor, whatever the fuck you're doing in this market. But Card Porn are a must follow.
We do it for you, as we've always said. We're here to help you and bring you content so you can laugh at lemons. But BGS, they finally did it. We're happy about that. They went into everything. They had pictures of fake slabs and legit BGS slabs, and they zoomed in onto the what's the VIN number called? What do they call it?
The patent number. The patent
number. Yeah, the patent number. The dot this, the no dot, this on the slab, the perforated edges on the. They went through everything, but I don't think people were happy because they didn't apologize for a lot of the stuff in terms of like how they dealt with it, and because they put it on people in the hobby. And they didn't like that, people in the hobby, because it was a matter of fact of, oh, well, you should do your own research then. You shouldn't be buying fake slabs. And people in the hobby are there pleading, we need help, because we can't exactly differentiate it until we have it in our hands.
Let me just stop you there, Domma. The fact that the leading people in this fight was an Instagram account that has no affiliation with Beckett, and they just did it out of the goodness to help other people in the hobby. and it didn't come from Beckett themselves is beyond a joke, right? The fact that it took them 3 months to, give people help, because not just say buy wisely, and that's what they left us with for 3 fucking months, right?
You should have. Oh, mate, yeah. Go and then go. Keep going.
How do you do that as a business that is making millions, potentially $1 million a week?
Potentially, 100%.
How the fuck do you do that as a business that is so massive? The industry is huge, and
Oh, it's
you
massive.
literally just. It's like saying, like.
Here's a business tip 101 for them. And you know what's funny? We've given them a lot of them in the last 2.5, 3 months, whatever the fuck it's been. But wouldn't you, common sense, to avoid this issue happening, have a team of guys that does market research on, like, their job is solely to fucking go through eBay and all these places where cards are listed, and click on the images and go through them and be like, nah, it's a legit card, and then make note of this is a PWCC auction on thing, or this guy's got it, like auctions, and buy it now, and they go, all right, this one's good, we don't need to go through it again because this is an auction in 4 days. In 4 days, we'll check if it's sold, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, the integrity of your brand and the integrity of your company is being undermined. And by you taking longer and longer to provide an action or provide advice or provide insight to people out there to give them assurance in your brand and in your product, you are going to drop off ridiculously. And I've said it. I've been saying it, Domma. I'm seeing more and more and more and more and more and more and more people cracking BGS stuff and sending it to PSA purely from the fact that, PSA slabs aren't getting faked, number one. Number two, they're selling for a shitload more. And number three, PSA is severely out marketing BGS. So
yeah, 100%.
it's
We'll get around to some of that stuff probably later on in this week and next week for listeners. But another one on the topic, in saying that they did address it. I know they took their sweet ass time, but they did do it. So props to them for that. The confidence that people had, like I said, was like bit subpar the way you did deal with it, but. Doesn't matter. They did do it.
They've already lost their market. They've already lost the severe market share. Let me just tell you that.
I completely agree with you. But now it's how they bounce back from it now after addressing it. If this shit continues to happen, you might as well just pack it up and just honestly, you're done. But just let's see where they go from here. Anyway, next up, Sauce. Ken Golden. I don't know if people saw that IGTV. Sauce sent it straight to me. They had some of the most goated people on this live stream. Gary V, Rizzo Sports, but 2 Jordan rookies. Now listen, Saucy and I mentioned this. I know Gary V mentioned it. I'm not taking credit for saying it. Yeah, Gary V said it's going to get to $1 million. I don't know if we said it before or we said it after. I don't care about timestamps. But we said it in the context of the hobby, how a Luka could be worth $1 million or whatever it is, or Giannis could be worth $1 million, but the holy grail of the fucking hobby was only worth $100K at the time. That's where we're saying the discrepancy. We're saying, how is the holy grail 100 grand USD and these other cards are $1 million? I don't care if it's 101 or 1 of 1. Like the pop on this thing, PSA 10 is what, 316?
Yeah.
Who cares if it's fucking 316 and it's 315 times more than the 101 Giannis? Like, it's the GOAT. That's the holy grail. Like, really. But it's
but
got
the demand for Jordan outweighs,
100%,
vastly outweighs Giannis.
Oh, 100%. So 2 sold for $758,000 listed on Golden Auctions. Now, if I was listening carefully to that IG, Ken also said 2 was sold for around about the same price, PSA 10s, private sale. not listed. So 4 have sold for that 700 to 758,000 USD mark.
Yeah, and for anyone out there that is doubts any of these sales on golden auctions, just go watch that IGTV. He explains his business process, and how it all works. Let's just say, if you have any big cards or massive cards like in 3 figures plus, shit like that, don't waste your time with eBay. Send
6 figures plus.
6
Or
figures.
5 figures.
Yeah,
five, six.
right.
Yeah.
Just send in there. That's what you should be doing, because the process they go through, you can nearly guarantee your sweet ass that whoever's buying that card is paying that bill.
100%.
So
Now, the real telling thing that came out of that whole IGTV, it was awesome to get insight into Rizzo, who's fucking been the most goated guy in selling some of his cards in the last month.
And he's got one that Gary V wants, and he's been tagging Gary V. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You know what's funny about Rizzo? He posted, was it about a week ago? I think it was about a week ago. He said, or was it this week? He goes, sold 3 million cards in the last month, and I actually haven't made any dent into my own PC. So what fucking cards has Rizzo got?
Rizzo's a goat, man. He got some big shit. He got some massive stuff hidden there, man.
Like, that's crazy. But the most alarming thing out of everything that I got out of that IGTV, I understand the hobby's growing, it's massive, but he's making 40 mil a month. This month, sorry, off sales, off golden auctions. And there was still 800 listings to go at that stage. But the most alarming thing, Sauce, and I hate being the type of person, and you're the same, to say, we're telling you that it's leading to this. Because we mentioned this fucking like podcast 3, that it could trend towards becoming that rich man's hobby. Now, the most alarming thing he was saying is athletes and stuff are getting their managers to contact him about buying their own rookie cards, or sourcing this card for them, or putting that on their radar when it comes into the auction house. And they don't give a shit. Ken was saying, like, they're not as refined as us as hobbyists. They don't give a fuck. They just want the card. They don't give a shit how much money they pay for it. Some of them are actually thriving on the fact that they could say, I bought it for the biggest value, or biggest total value in the history of that card, like in the market. So they pride themselves on being one of those 4 people, or that one. It could be one person. Well, 2 people bought the ones that were listed. So, and he said one of them will be revealing himself on TV by the end of this month. So we'll find out who one of the people was that bought one of the Jordans. But he's saying they don't care. They want that clout to say, I have the most expensive card in the hobby, or I've got the most expensive Jordan card in the hobby because I spent fucking $1 million. Because they're so rich, they don't care. This is the problem we were saying, that when this gets to the point, and now that vintage in LBJ, Kobe, and Jordan, all of a sudden the pyramids flip for these 3 guys, especially Kobe and LBJ, and Jordan too. But someone that's sitting on the other end of the screen's been telling you this for fucking 8 months.
I swear, since we started this pod.
Your Smokies. He gave you about fucking 8 Kobe Smokies.
I gave you 8 Kobe Smokies, Dave. You literally bought all those Kobe. You are absolutely laughing. Like, let's not forget about the shit Sekou Doumbouya one I gave you guys. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I didn't give that pick. Yeah, I did. And he's fucking averaging 10 minutes a game. And, look, he's doing okay for 10 minutes. That Detroit Pistons managed... Dwayne Casey, is that who's the
He's a lemon.
Stop playing Blake Griffin. He's not the next guy in your franchise. Sell him off, trade him. He's shit. Get rid of him. But anyway,
legit.
But
this is the thing.
Yes, it's what I've been saying. The vintage guys,
like,
Domma.
Yeah, but this is the thing now, where it could get to the point where, when it does become a rich person's hobby, all you're gonna have to settle for is these rookies and up-and-comers. And the problem with settling for rookies and up-and-comers are, we've inflated the fucking box prices astronomically now for modern-day products. We can't even afford to rip wax. This is the problem that we've been telling you. Stop doing.
But it's not
And
even
now
that,
we're gonna
Domma.
get
It's
to this-
also these rich guys, and we've seen it. They come in here with 100K, and they just buy up all the
Yeah,
boxes,
100%.
all the product, and they consign it to breakers, and breakers then gets filtered down and brought into breaks, and people have enough money to go into a break for 150, $200 for a spot, right? And then that's the way that the box then gets broken down to you guys. But it's sort of brought a bit upon ourselves by having these people sort of control this stuff. It's unfortunate, but like we've been saying that it's going that way. Like it's going that way, especially when the card prices are so much, especially for some of these modern day stuff. Like and it's where I just bring it back. Like literally go have a look back the last say 10 draft classes, right? And just have a look how many guys out of those last 10 draft classes, how many guys in each draft is there you're like, you look back and you go, oh, all right, 10 years time, I want to have his cards in 10, 15 years time. There's probably only 3 to 5 in every draft.
Giannis,
5 if you're lucky.
Luka,
Right?
Giannis,
If you're lucky.
Luka, maybe Tatum,
Look,
maybe.
there's a few out there, a few obscure ones and all that sort of stuff.
You know what? I'll do that, Sauce. I'll do that list for next week. I'll grab some of the best players in the last 10 years, and we can actually go through
Yeah,
it.
and these are the guys that you want to have because they're going to have the Hall of Fame careers and their cards are going to be somewhat worth it. There is still other guys out there that probably don't get as much love, but you got to bring it back. What gets the most love? It's winning championships and being the best the best guy on your team, pretty much. So that's what's going to make your card prices the highest. Even though Tim Duncan's card prices aren't the most, they are the most. His cards are the most out of the trio that was San Antonio Spurs, right? Hands down.
100%.
Right? Even though they're not where I think they should be. Although in the last week, funny enough, I did say my good friend out there, Rad Ripper Sports Cards, he had a sale of Tim Duncan. He had it up for 2K. In the meantime, no one bought it. Topps Chrome PSA 10. No one bought it. He posted it a few days later. It was 3K because someone bought one on eBay for 3K. It went up. No one bought it for 3K. He then posted a few days later after that. So I swear in the last 10 days, that Tim Duncan card's gone from 2K to now 4K. And now he's still trying to sell it for 4K. So anyone out there who wants Tim Duncan, I suggest you buy him because I think he's going to be the next one. I think there's, obviously people are going to start going after these Kobe's, these crazy Kobe's, and then Tim Duncan probably lives in sort of these modern guys, these like these guys who have that uber wealth that probably watched that period of basketball. So,
and not for anything, funnily enough, Big Boy Movement _805.
Big Boy _movement 805. He's changed it.
Yeah, sorry. So, he did too. Apologies, Sammy. But I'm going to quote him in the words of the great man. From the moment we've known him to this point in time, the most genuine guy when it comes to giving advice, collect the fucking goats. That's all he's been saying to us. Kobe, Trout, Jordan, LBJ, Duncan. He even said it. Sauce did a live. He did a pod with him just on the weekend. He goes, collect Duncan. What are you guys doing? He goes, collect Duncan. And because Sauce is like, I've got Shaqs, I've got Duncan. He's like, you're on the right path. And now, all the things that we were stressing out about at the beginning about how is vintage not up to the same level as modern, people are waking up. And the pyramid is starting to fucking flip. That's starting to flip. Vintage was down here. Modern's going to be down there. Honestly, give it a couple months. A few more of these golden auction sales for these vintage guys. All you need is a couple Kobe's, LBJs, and see you later to the market, mate. You can forget your fucking... Luka the Don's going to hold his value. Giannis is going to hold his value and stuff like that. But forget about all your freaking Tyler Heroes and your Sekou Doumbouya's and your Rui Hachimuras and your Bam Adebayos. Honestly, they're just like a whatever. They're a pump and dump type of card. Really, pump them up during. Like these are the guys you just buy and sell during the NBA season. If they have a good game, you just flip them. That's it. That's all they become. They hold no real value in the future of the hobby. Zero. Sorry for the sad realization. Bit of cynical stuff, but it's...
Look, don't get me wrong.
True,
I think
mate.
there's obviously opportunity to buy these guys, and Sammy did say this point
Yeah.
when we spoke about it. But you
100%.
obviously do your research, and I'll go on record and say, like, I've got quite a large Jaren Jackson Jr. PC, and if he doesn't turn out to be the player that I hope he could be, then I could be left holding the bag. But these are the chances that you take, being able to buy, like, a PSA 10, say, numbered Prism for, 5 to 700, and potentially if he goes on to being a unbelievable player, that card could be worth, 10,000. So
100%.
these are the chances that you take. Another one is SGA. I've got a few SGA autos. I'm very big at buying the autos. I will buy some Prism color and numbered variants just because I think that's a lot safer than the silver and base variants. But yeah, those two guys predominantly, and I seriously don't consider KZ Okpala much of a risk, especially at the price I was buying his cards.
No, you got him for freaking peanuts.
Oh yeah,
dollar,
like
mate.
literally, all I need to do is like sell half the amount of base cards that I've got. He just gets a few games, and I sell half the amount of base cards I got, Prism base and other stuff. It will literally pay off all the good stuff that I bought. And I was literally buying his numbered autos from Impeccable. I swear to God, Dom, for like $7 USD for a numbered auto in Impeccable. It was like 7 to 10 USD I was buying these autos for. They're going for like 40 USD now. Like, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Ridiculous.
It was like, I was like, how are these cards so cheap when like everything else is like, I understand he's playing freaking G League now or whatever, but stuff it. I took a chance. Like, I'm actually in
100%.
profit if I sell them all today. And funny enough, I've seen guys on NBA Card Market Australia page actually looking for KZ Okpala cards. I'm like, this is crazy. This market's crazy.
100%. Next up, we had Cherry in the news again. Pardon the pun. Legitimately in the news.
It just brings it back to the point. Before we get to this, people thought it was slowing down. And even the great man G said himself, I thought it was going to be a bit different this year. There's always that bit of a lull in the card market. It's a periodic. It goes on that periodic table.
Yeah, 100%,
We've spoken about
100%.
it. The ebbs and flows in prices and things around that Christmas and January. But then the new announcements of products and this sort of thing, and then it hypes up, and was it slowing down?
Honestly,
no, not at all.
Source, honestly,
It was a facade.
I do think it might come due to the fact that everything's been so condensed because of COVID. Everything's on top of each other. College basketball, there was college football, there was NFL, AFL. Like if you're here, NBA. You had the NBA bubble finish for 2 months, and then they're back playing the next season. The draft, NFL draft is coming up in a month and a half's time or 2 months. But once the NFL slows down, then it's just the NBA there. EPL is getting more towards its end. Like everything will be finished up. We might go through a period where there might be absolutely nothing running, but literally UFC and AFL is coming back for us, but UFC and F1. But F1 haven't even, Topps hasn't even released those cards yet. So there's nothing out there to be sorted out after. But it could come, but it might be just a slight dip. It's not going to be a massive drop-off because then everything starts up again. NBA preseason and all the other bullshit. So...
But just think about this, Domma. I just think on the precipice of these, guys with the ridiculous amount of wealth coming in and buying these cards, I think this is just like the beginning. Wait till Like, wait until, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Wait until, like, freaking Drake buys a LeBron rookie card for some ridiculous money and freaking goes to all these
Bro,
millions of followers. And here I am,
I'm
freaking, I just paid the most ever for a LeBron James refractor rookie. Like, I
it's gonna
swear,
be,
I don't
I
think people
completely agree.
understand. Like,
I
someone like even
completely
Drake
agree.
hasn't even, I think he sits courtside, bro. He sits courtside.
Yeah,
Yeah?
he's a hoop nut.
Like,
It would not surprise me if it gets to the
we've
point
seen Chris Brown, guys like
like
J. Cole hasn't even, we've
yeah,
seen how much he balls and all. Like, it's just nuts, man. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, it hasn't even hit the
wouldn't
tip of these people.
would not surprise me if guys like that and girls that absolutely love basketball that are friends with the athletes and even past athletes themselves that are friends with current players or old school player vintage guys start buying cards of their friends for the fact that they can say, I got my mate's rookie card. I got my mate's this. I got a one-on-one of so-and-so's, uh, whatever it is. It could be an exquisite, upper deck exquisite LeBron, one-on-one. Like, like it can even get to the point where cards get authenticated through the grading companies. If you get a Topps Chrome rookie LeBron refractor and Wade goes and buys a base one and it's a mint condition and he goes and sees LeBron and LeBron signs it and it gets graded a PSA 10, it's worth a fuck ton. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's potential for that. I don't think people have even thought of that yet. They don't even have to go buy graded cards. They can just go buy base cards, grade them for a small fee, but then get their freaking best mate or someone that knows that athlete to sign the card for them, and it gets authenticated. And you see how much more those cards are going for in slabs than the actual card, like those of the base variants. Is what I'm saying. You're not going to get an
Mate,
auto
these
card
people
and
wouldn't give a
throw it.
shit. They'd go buy the refractor, PSA 10, freaking $500,000 or whatever. They'd crack it out of the slab, get LeBron to sign it, and then they'd send it back in and get it graded again.
Legit. There's potential to do that stuff. That's stuff that I don't want to give anyone out there ideas like Drake and stuff that listen to this podcast.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom now.
But legitimately, no. But seriously, there's scope for all that stuff to happen, and it was awesome to have something like that here down under. I know we got US viewers and stuff, but a lot of people, it's big over there in the States, yeah. People need to understand that over here. I understand people think, oh, it's Australia. There isn't collectors here. We got some of the most ridiculous. I'm talking about ridiculous. I hope you're listening international, but the most ridiculous people with collections you would ever have met. Like over there, it's so mainstream that all your people are pretty much getting in front of the camera. It's so underground here, and they're slowly starting to come out of the woodwork that people are gonna fall off their chairs when they start seeing some of the shit that gets posted that are in cupboards. And the more impressive thing about it is we didn't get as much wax here as what is over in North America. So when people start seeing these collections, they're just like, how did you even fucking get these cards? Whether they bought them recently, like today, or they actually pulled those cards, like the stories behind them and stuff is only beginning in this
Yeah,
country.
like,
It's
look,
literally only scraping. And now that it's been on the news, like Grayson from Cherry Collectibles on Channel 9 News, one of the three big media news outlets here in Australia, and it was out there, got a story, bang, eyes on him. Like, there's eyes on not just him, but the hobby again now. Like, it's starting to get out there. So many people message us. Like, I went to work, my boss was like, oh, did you see that thing on the sports cards? My parents, like, rang me, oh, did you see so-and-so was on the news? Like, they're trying to break the story to Sauce and
We're,
I.
we're just saying it's a matter of time till it's on the news. It's a matter of time. Like, does anyone not see the same pattern? What happened with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin 2 years ago? When, then all of a sudden it was on the news. And then every Tom, Dick, and Harry knew about these sports cards. I posted something, just funny story, Domma. That Topps Matrix box, right? Before, I told anyone, I said to my friends, I put into a group, in my group chat, in my mates, I said, boys, if anyone's got 2,000 AUD and, wants to have a pun at this sports card thing, buy this Topps Matrix box. It's only about 2,000 Australian dollars. Sit on it for, potentially, I told them minimum 1 year. I said minimum 1 year. Minimum 1 year you have to sit on it, potentially 2 to 3 years. And this box could quite easily be 15, 20K, maybe even more. And, and I had, as soon as I posted that, I had a friend of mine, he called me straight away. He goes, oh, you know what? And I explained it to him, and he sort of, maybe seeing that on the news, shit, oh, fuck, this is massive. You know what I mean? Like, this is huge. Will it change people's perception that, were umming and ahhing before? Like, it's massive.
I was gonna say this, like the psychology of people, yeah. The first thing is, like, here, the hobby, and we discussed this with Charlie from Cherry when he came on the pod, was people were shy and embarrassed to have a collection because people used to tease them, oh, you collect cards. Only nerds do that. Collect cards or collect pops or collect comics. You're a nerd. You collect collectibles. But now it's cool and everyone wants to do it. The problem is when the majority of people that ridicule those that are like the small group, like in the hobby, whether you're collecting pops or comics or cards, like I'm saying, until they realize it's something cool and it's their idea, then the whole perception of society changes and then the whole hobby's cool. And then everyone comes out of the woodwork. Until it's socially acceptable and cool, that's when it really takes off. And that's what's happening in this country right now, in Australia especially. In America, you've already pretty much got to that point in the States. You have card conventions, you've got the Dallas show, you've got all these things, like you've got so many more resources at your disposal than what we have here in terms of like shows and all that stuff. Like all the biggest breakers in the States, like you're all connected. That, you know what I'm saying? Like you have that thing there. And this is why it's good. Like Grayson got on the news. It's fantastic. Grayson's actually knows Gary Vee very well also, which is also massive for us down here in Australia. He was on his live during the week, which is fantastic for him. He was on there asking some questions. But this ties into like that resource thing with Australia in the market. And we have Matt, who has started the Australian Trading Card Association here in Australia, and he's doing some big things. Sauce DM'd me immediately, like it was like a flash share by Sauce straight to me. The moment Chesh Breaks had his live and Matt was on there talking about the association and its plans and potential for it. Well, not potential, it's going to happen to be at Oz Comic Con in July.
It's going to happen because, you can see the absolute passion that Matt, brings to the table. And I froth it. It's something that we need here in Australia to take it to the next level, to take it on that stage. And, hopefully that leads on to being able to have, regular card shows and card shows that travel around different cities in Australia. And yeah, his ultimate goal is to, I don't know if you said already, but to literally have, National Australia Card Convention.
He did say that.
So
he did say that. That's the plan. And it's something where we're able to go travel to see you, our American friends over in the States, because you have a national. But we want it to be where we're so interconnected globally that you can travel here when you don't have your national to come to our national, and we can co-mingle and coexist and network and have more like a better supply channel for product and be able to get cards that you don't think you would ever be able to get your hands on because you're down here in Australia or because you're over in America and you're like, fuck, I didn't realize he had that. Like that Aussie collector had that in his PC that he wants to sell. Like, this is massive.
Domma, let's just say this.
Full support.
What did I send you during the week? I sent you an amazing collection in the sport of American football, NFL, by an Australian collector in an Australian NFL trading card page of Paddy Mahomes that is now, after those recent sales on Golden Auctions, must be worth at least $25 million. At least.
There you go.
Of RPAs, crazy shit. Why the hell would an Australian guy
ridiculous.
collect an American sport? Why?
It's ridiculous.
But, you know, that's why we're trying to say, I don't think people realise the collectors we have here in Australia. I genuinely don't think, you know, the American public and other people out there know that there's some big collectors here, man. Yeah, massive.
And we know a few, man, that are fucking ridiculous. And like we've tried to showcase. Like, we don't want to show. They don't want to be known, but we want to have their collection known.
There are still people out there that aren't on the gram. They aren't posting their images of what they're buying. They aren't posting their PC. They're just not.
They're not even on social.
They're not even on social. Like some of these guys, like, I don't think people get it. Like, you know, even though you think you're seeing it all, you're not seeing it all. Like, the pool is massive. The pool is massive.
100%. And now the positive thing about that is next week on Wednesday, very high chance Matt is going to come on to the podcast and give us an in-depth look at to what's to come, which is fantastic.
We hope to bring our first ever. I believe I've fixed the whole technical issue around which has been preventing us to go live with a third party, and I believe I've fixed this issue. I've you know, nutted it down. So we're hoping that Matt's going to be our first, and you know, we'd love for people to jump on live and, you know, drop your questions in the YouTube, and, you know, we can put those across to Matt, because, you know, this is something that every collector in Australia, if you are collecting any cards, whatever it may be, anything, we're not just, you know, sports cards. There was, you know, as well, but, you know, anything, UFC, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, all of this stuff. You know, this is something that, you know, if we have a national Australian card convention, all of these cards are welcome there and would be welcome there. So it's everyone should be wanting to get involved. Everyone should want to know what's going on and wanting to know what Matt is trying to achieve, because I think it's something that would be so great for the hobby down under.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. It'd be so good for the hobby. We're going to try and get him on. If the audio somehow does stuff up, we will be recording the video. So don't stress. If it's crap on the YouTube end, we'll just release it as the pod form anyway, and you'll be able to listen to it clear and crystal clear.
Don't worry, Dom. I've got confidence. I've got confidence.
So do I, mate. I got full belief in you, Saw. Full belief, mate. If you, let's just put it this way, ladies and gents. If you can't pull it off, in 2 weeks' time, we can tell you who the Lamont of the week is. So... So it's not going to be that hard. So, but a few other things to get to before we got some questions that we wanted answered. Luca Tigers and Bronze, and then one of our newfound friends, Rich, the Happy Collector, interviewed HGA. This was fantastic. It was good. We got some great insight.
Hybrid grading approach.
By Tyler Cole-Hitt, who is the CEO of the company. So it was awesome.
He's backed up he's invested $2 million. I heard him say on one of the interviews.
Yeah.
So for anyone saying, you know, go on, Dom, continue, and we'll
No, he's not backing down. Not backing down. He's going to have a real hot crack at it. He's a very, very he's a successful businessman. He's had a lot of businesses. It's not like he's just gone, oh, bang, I'm going to do this. He's invested heavily also.
The best part about it is an avid collector.
Avid collector. So massive things to come. If you do want to listen to those podcasts, they are a good listen. That is Luca Tigers and Bronze and the Happy Collector. But on the positive side, before Sauce does get into it, we have secured a time to interview Tyler. So I think we are going to be the first Australian podcast to have HGA on, which will be it's going to be unreal. So we are literally going to HGA representing not just our US fans, but every double coverage fan, whether you're in the US, Canada, or even in Australia. We are going to ask questions around the Aussie market as well, because if you go listen to those two pods, a lot of questions are answered in terms of like they're based over in Tennessee, so there's a lot of questions answered for the American market. We're going to get some questions answered for the Australian market, which will be really good. I know there's a lot of people. I just had a mate text me. Sauce and I were on another call before, and a mate texted me during that call going, "What do you know about these guys?" And they sent me that HGA 9 Zion in the slab. He goes, "This looks fucking sick. Can you grade my RJ Barrett? What do I do about getting him graded?" Because obviously he's read up that they color code the label to the card that's getting graded. So he's G'ing up. Knicks have got mad colors, bit of orange and blue in there. It'll look sick, the slab, with his RJ. So we're going to get those questions answered for you out there. So yeah, stay tuned for that, which is very exciting. But Sauce, over to you. You had a few things that you picked up in those interviews that were of interest.
Obviously he spoke in length about one of the really cool questions which is going to be faced at some point. Someone's going to if he starts having success, his cards hit the market and they're selling at a decent price. He's obviously got the AI technology that he's invested $2 million into. Someone's going to come with a buyout. One of these big companies, BGS, PSA, one of the big two, and they're going to offer him a significant amount of money. And he said, flat out said, this ain't for sale. I don't need the money. I'm doing this because I seen a wrong, which was, customer service. I seen a wrong, which was subjectivity in grading, and I want to correct the wrong. And I'm doing this as an avid collector and someone who doesn't believe that if a card gets a 9 and you continually just crack it and resend it till he gets a 10, that is complete rubbish. So ideally, his system, if it gets that graded a 9 on his system, if you crack and resend that in an ideal world, that would again get a 9. May not get the same subgrades, but it should get that 9, right? So this would absolutely shake up the market. I genuinely think if those and people and first of all, I'll say this: I genuinely think if his 10s are that hard to get. And he spoke about something like his 10 rate. Of all the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of cards that he's scanned and whatever and tested, and also he's actually taking submissions now where I think they cap at 1,000 a week, and this is to guarantee their turnaround times, which is I think a really great move for a startup company. Probably something that SGC should have a look at when you start advertising yourself as meeting turnaround times, and then next minute at 20 days taking 140. Because you completely underestimated the supply of cards that could be sent to you. HGA first and foremost didn't make that mistake. So that they're already in terms of their customer service, albeit you might only be able to get 2 cards graded every week only because they're capping it at 1,000 at the moment. They're meeting their promise. And one of the great promises that they have is if they do not meet their turnaround time, they will slab your card for free and grade it for free.
Pretty good.
For anyone that's complaining about turnaround times, you really can't get better than that, can you?
Exactly.
So,
well, there's a few questions that we need to ask anyway that haven't been asked, which is good. So we're going to hopefully...
Hey, if there's any out there that you guys have listened to those podcasts and you want us as the double coverage fan, DM us, hit the DMs. We might even, chuck up something on the IG.
I'm going to put something up on the story
and
probably towards the end of this week. What do you want us to ask? And honestly, we're happy. I don't care if you're from America or you're from here or anywhere in the world. You ask us the questions. We'll say this. we've formulated questions based on our audience. Like, we're here doing this stuff for you, as we've said, and we'd be happy enough to say at so and so wanted to ask you this. We've got our questions, and then if there's a few that are different to ours, we'll say so and so wanted to ask you this. Bang, 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 bang. I don't care who you are. It could be Joe Blow down the street. You're interested in sport cards and you want to know something about HGA. We are here for you to provide our service to help you out. So hopefully that gets recorded on this Sunday coming. So Saturday in the States, Sunday here, and then we probably drop that on Monday, Australian time, Sunday, US time, if all goes according to plan. The other person we're probably going to get on this weekend as well at some stage is Rich, the Happy Collector. Awesome content creator on TikTok.
10K on
Instagram,
TikTok,
but
not to be scoffed at.
Yeah, but especially TikTok, man.
Absolutely
He's a machine.
on fire.
Very, very good. So it'd be great to interview him. He's going to definitely have some stories. He's been collecting for a very long time, which is awesome. So we got him, got HGA. We've got Matt coming up next week, and I think we might be getting him back, Sauce.
Who is it?
The godfather of data, Chris Hoge, our boy. We're going to say our first ever listener on the podcast. He said he was in the top 10 subscribers. You were number one, Chris. Bang. You were number one.
We got to get him custom shirt, mate. We got to get him custom shirt. Send it to him. Double coverage. Double coverage. Number one listener. Number one number one ticket holder. Number one podcast.
Bloody oath. But Hoge is very keen to come on. And in saying that, stay tuned tomorrow. It's 48 hours from yesterday. I don't know exact time in Australia, in the US, but stay tuned for tomorrow or the day after. Massive announcement coming from Card Ladder. We don't know what it is.
My guess is fine. It's the app. It's here. It's coming. It's the app.
Yeah.
Surely it's the app. Surely.
So this is massive. Honestly, we'll ask him as many questions as possible, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. You know how Chris is an open book with us. It's awesome to ask any questions about anything in the hobby, and he gives his truthful answer, which is awesome. All right. So we cleared all that stuff up, which is good. That took its time. Now we've got a few questions, a few sent in by our listeners, and then we're going to get to the big one at the end, because we promised him we'd do it on the pod, and we pumped it up during the week. So we'll get a question answered for him. But we've got 3 questions that we want to answer. As we said, we're dedicating more time to hobby talk now. But the first one from Masked Sports Cards, Luke, our boy. What do you feel is the second biggest card market in the NBA, to the NBA in Australia? So NBA is the biggest here. For listeners abroad, it is the biggest here. And it probably is the biggest in the sports trading card realm anyway. So, so second biggest source. You know where I
know where you're going with this, and I think, I don't know. I don't know. I still think what you're going to say is probably swaying that way, and this is why I'd love to have a national Australian convention, card convention, because I'd love to see what stuff pops up there. You know, what's more dominant. You've spoken about stories about when you went to card, shows, because there was still some shows, like one down in Geelong, and there's been a few around. You know them more, you're more familiar with them than me. And you spoke about there being, barely any NBA and predominantly AFL, Australian rules football. So, like, I think that it could still be edging at Australian rules football. The NFL market is picking up here. I'm in a few groups of NFL down under, and it's got they're up to like nearly 2K on Facebook, which is pretty good for NFL market in Australia. And then you've got the soccer market. I genuinely think that the soccer market is a sleeper. I think it's underestimated the amount of European influence that is in Australia. They were the first, obviously after the first people arriving from Britain and Ireland and that. The Europeans took a massive settlement here. Obviously Italians, Croatians, who else? You got the lot in Greeks. So like I just think, and the love for soccer here has always been so strong. We've seen the history that was once here in terms of soccer, but Domma's showing up there.
Just go collect that
Damian
guy.
Martin, Damian
No,
Martin, Dustin Martin, Dustin Martin.
Just go. Honestly, I'm not even a Richmond supporter. As a guy looking at it as a holistic view, as just a hobbyist, and you're into AFL cards. I know that AFL, like
Look,
the AFL card game, or whatever they are, but they're autoed cards. Understand? For $100, that's $75 AUD. Like, let's be realistic. When it does come to light and more AFL cards get graded, those Dustin Martin cards are going to be worth like $400 to fucking $1,000, like a pop. As simple as that. He's potentially the best player, or best finals player in the history of the game, and arguably up there to be touted as the GOAT. He actually is.
So for any of the American listeners out there, we're talking about a guy named Dustin Martin. If you go Google his name, type in Dustin Martin AFL, and you'll see what he looks like.
He's the guy with the shit haircut, but he's a bloody good footballer.
And he plays for the Richmond Tigers in the Australian Football League. And let's just say at the way he's going in his career, and he's not finished yet. He's got quite a few more years to go. He is forming one of the greatest careers of all time.
Mate.
Already won three grand finals, 3 Super Bowls if you like.
Mate, I'm gonna go buy this card Sauce. I swear to God, look at this shit. Honestly, you're gonna be like, what? Look at this. For anyone out there, anyway, my answer is AFL. And I don't know if it's the grading thing, like I said, like you don't see as many, but I can go out there, Sauce. I can go out there. It's not his rookie card. But I reckon AFL cards, because it's so hard to win a premiership, yeah. Premierships, it's kind of like NBA. AFL is exactly like NBA. It's not like rookie cards count for something, but AFL is more like if you can probably collect their card, if it's a rookie card, it's dope. But if you can collect like a premiership year that they won a flag,
yeah,
you're laughing.
Yeah.
And if it's one of the GOATs, this is Sammy's principle applied to AFL. If you're one of the GOATs and you can go get a Wayne Carey 1996 signed hollow fall card for $75 on eBay, Sauce is going to just spend all his money on fucking AFL cards.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, look at this. I can go get a Carey card for $50 auto, 33. I know he signed the card, but who gives a shit? We've seen NBA cards, when they finally get slabbed and they get authenticated, they're worth a freaking mint. 50, 33, 40, $25, $75, 75.
How the hell are PSA going to authenticate that? They're going to ring up Wayne Carey and say, "Is this your bloody freaking autograph?" Or do they authenticate it with like another autograph they got in file of Wayne Carey? How do they go about that? You can't answer the question. I've stumped him, ladies and gents. I've stumped him.
I have no idea. I have no idea, bro. Honestly.
But yeah, look.
But it is,
Mars, to answer the question, I think it could be at this point be soccer. I think it's growing massively. Domma thinks AFL, but I think AFL is very close behind second.
Yeah, well,
second, third, one of the. It's toss of the coin. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about the soccer market in Australia, but based off what Cherry's telling me, he can't keep soccer product in stock.
It's climbing, 100%. It's climbing, like dead set. I reckon soccer's getting there, and like you said, heaps of Europeans have migrated to this country. There's a lot of them here. just like semi-professional soccer is absolutely huge. It's got like a massive cult following. Even the A-League's got a decent following for what it is, and it's still growing. I know it's plateaued to an extent, but the following, just passion for soccer. I tell you what, the following of international soccer, like European football, like in this country, severely outweighs how many people support Australian soccer. If that makes sense to listeners.
That's 100%
Like,
correct.
I love the EPL. I can't stand watching A-League soccer. So I'm one of those people. I love soccer. I'm one of these people that'll collect. But the European stuff appeals to me more than the Australian stuff. And what do you know? The international stuff is the stuff that they create products for. Panini. They don't make Panini A-League cards. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, the market's there for me as a guy that likes EPL. I can go out there and get a Rooney auto or a Beckham auto as he signed for Panini. You know, I got that opportunity to go do that
Yeah, it's true.
because that's my passion. If you're an all-around soccer guy and you like anything, well, you can get anyone you want, which is good. So, me, it's footy, Sauceys footy / until he sees it, it's soccer. All right, next up, we have from Joel R21. What NBA set do you feel is underrated in the hobby?
He what did he say? Select question mark.
He said select question
Yeah,
mark.
look, at this point in time, it's not select, just because old mate Jeff Wilson from Sports Card Investor absolutely gave it a hype up, and everyone was jumping on the bandwagon. But select, everyone knows that select's the second sort of set to the second / third set to obviously Prism. Prism's always going to be that number one, and and that's just based off not what I've seen, and I don't get it, and I still don't get it. But it's from what I've listened to from people that have been in this hobby a lot longer than me, and their following of it, and people like Chris and Josh from Cardboard Chronicles, Chris Hoge, our good friend, talking about these patterns, and it's been like that for years. So I can't see it changing now. It's just like Topps Chrome from 20 years ago is still Topps Chrome today. Like everyone wants the Topps Chrome, and I think that's what it's going to be in the future. Everyone's going to want that Prism. I think in terms of a sleeper set, in terms of a set, I try focus on buying. Obviously, Prism, Select, and Optic. First 3 point of call. And then after that, I will, I've dabbled into a number of different sets. But one set that I personally like, and I think is a sleeper set, is Absolute. The Absolute set. And I'm talking not really, I'm not really a fan of some of the auto patch cards that they do in that. And some of the other stuff, but I do know Absolute does some on-card autos. I don't think they're going to have any this year because of the issue with no rookie day photo shoot, so I think there's going to be a lot of stickers in the product, but they traditionally do some on-card autos, which I think are nice. I showed you, Domma, I picked up a nice, what was it? I think a Magic auto number to 15.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice card out of Absolute. Looked absolutely beautiful. When I get this one, get it back from Ship My Cards, I'll bring it on the pod. And
in the spotlight, mate.
Yeah, I'll put it
Straight
in the
on
spotlight.
in the spot.
And I think there's in terms of Absolute, there's some really it's a nice thick stock card. It's not like a paper thin card like a Chronicles set. Even though I don't mind the Chronicles, I think there's good value in that set because you if you're ripping wax, you're guaranteed rookies. That's why I like to rip that set. But I'm going Absolute. I think it's a bit of a sleeper set, and that's just because the cards are nice and thick, and you can still pick up like numbered Zions and Jars and the guys that you want to buy from last year probably and the years prior for a decent price. And if you just have a look at some of the Absolute cards that are Luca's year and Trey's year and the price that they're going for, what's to say that it doesn't rise up a bit more when people get priced out of some of these other variants that everyone goes and chases. So I think it's Absolute. I'm just going to leave it at that point.
Me, I'm going to go on the other spectrum. I just reckon it's got the history, as Source has always said. I genuinely think, not Hoops Premium, because it's a premium set, but I reckon Hoops, the cards are nice. They've got some nice inserts in there. It's good to always go to collect rookies and stuff. Even old school Hoops cards are really nice. You can get some nice Timmy D's, Shaqs, Kobe's. Some really nice cards out there. So I'm going to say Hoops.
Yeah, I love hoops. So
Yeah,
for me, hoops is a buy all the time, and I just bring it back to like having history in the hobby.
With the current climate and stuff with the cards, those cards will get a bump across the board for certain players. That is not for the whole set, but I just think Hoops is really good, really really good. The last one from AD underscore card underscore collections, NBA card sleeper.
NBA card sleeper. A card.
Yeah. Not a Sauceys Smokey that you're buying. Someone that you think could be something. Or
am I prospecting? What am I doing here? Am I prospecting
just
on a
card
guy?
sleeper. It's card sleeper. You could say a Prism rookie Phil Jackson card if it even exists.
Wow. You sprung this one on me. You gave me absolutely no time to prepare.
I've got one because it was my sleeper, but he's not really a sleeper now. I don't know if people are buying into him. Like, we love him, but he didn't really get, I don't know, like the respect he deserved. He's a modern player. He's currently playing. He's dominating, and he's Shaq 2.0. Joel Embiid was the guy that I really, really liked and was sleeping with his rookie Prism prices. I don't know what they're at now. They're probably skyrocketed because he's been dominating. But they're below 150 at one stage, I'm pretty sure. If you go back through 130 point, I did a bit of a search. I checked Embiid 2 weeks ago.
Well, you could have if you bought Embiid back in, say, let's just say you went back to, let's say, the start of the year, right? 29 sale on the 29th of the 12th, so just before the new year.
So a month ago.
295 USD for a PSA 10.
But that's for the 10.
For the 10,
there
right?
You go.
It's now selling at 652.
There you go. Yeah, that was my sleeper. But while Sauce is trying to think of one, I'm trying to think of someone now. I don't know. It's pretty hard because everyone's pretty much on top of everything. I'll just stick with Cole Anthony, I think, as my sleeper. He's playing well, but all the eyes are on everyone else. On Wiseman and Ball. I'm not going to say Wiseman's my sleeper because I said he was the best player in the draft. So he's not really a sleeper if we say that he's the best rookie in the class. I said Cole Anthony pre-draft, post-draft. I really like him anyway. But the other guy is maybe it could be a bust, but RJ Hampton. I reckon he had a lot of potential. He played okay here in Australia. He hasn't got the minutes needed at Denver at the moment, but he could be something. He's a scorer. So maybe as a sleeper. Sauce will just come out. You should just say fucking Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, Selma, don't get me started.
He's playing all right. He's starting to play all right.
He's playing all right. Look, he's doing
Oh,
okay.
You know who else? A modern player that's a sleeper who's not playing at the moment? Klay Thompson.
Yeah, we've heard people speaking about it before. Look, it's a tough ball game, but like I'll tell you one that I think that's a sleeper. That's vintage. And I genuinely think Ray Allen is underpriced for
100%.
for what he's achieved as a player, as an NBA player. Pretty much being the first coming of Klay Thompson, if you would like to say, in terms of catch and shoot guys.
I got another one.
Like, I genuinely think Ray Allen, the fact that you can go buy a Ray Allen Bowman rookie card. All right, yeah, you got to look. His Topps Chrome PSA 10 is 747, right? Last sold. Right? Was it only a pop of 70 at 10,
Yeah.
right? But if you go have a look, let's just have a look. Ray Allen RC Bowman, which is a nice set. Let's have a look at the PSA prices on them. Bring it up on the 130 points. Here we go, right? Here we go. Oh, just is gonna bring. Every damn week, Domma. Every damn week. It's every week. I'm all over the shop. Absolutely all over the shop. But I think this is the one. Oh, there we go. All right. So, Domma. Here we go. It's brought it up. PSA 9. 28 USD.
No.
For a Bowman rookie of Ray Allen. He's a refractor. This is a refractor. PSA 9. Only 340.
I'm buying Carey, so I'm not getting him. Sorry.
A PSA 10, 78. Are you joking me? Are you joking me right now? So I genuinely think, I don't know, I could be nuts, but Ray Allen, man, I had this conversation with someone on Instagram. I'm like, Ray Allen was a really good player. If it wasn't for Ray Allen, LeBron James wouldn't have won another championship. Won that championship in Miami, man. They had wheeled the fucking trophy into the hallway, ready to bring it onto the court, man.
I know. It was over.
Think about the moments he's had, in history of basketball, what he's meant. Just nuts. Just nuts. And, he's won 2 chips. Wait, did he win 2 with Miami? Was he there for both? It's 1.
No, 1.
1. And he won 1 with Boston. So,
yeah.
Just nuts. I just think Ray Allen. Just go have a look at some of his. I think he's even got a medal card. A Fleer medal card too. We'll have a look at it now.
There's so many good guys.
Anyone out there? Look at all the prices I've been looking up of all the guys. Look at that. That's my price research.
The other guy as well, is KG.
Here you go. You can literally go buy a rookie Fleer medal, which is the same Fleer 1996, same rookie year as Kobe. Fleer medal, rookie card, insert. You can go pick one up for 4 USD. A raw one. Well, you're telling me you can't go buy a piece of Ray Allen, one of the greatest shooters that ever walked the planet, catch and shoot. He's a top 5 catch and shoot player to ever walk in the NBA. Hands down.
100%.
Hands down. It's him.
Yep. Agreed.
Him. Obviously, you got Curry. Curry's elite catch and shoot. Klay Thompson. Ray Allen. Reggie Miller. Simple as that. That's the list for me. That's the list.
Yeah, I agree. Fair call. Beautiful.
So yeah, I just think it's sock.
There's a few there for you, AD. There's a few. So we gave you Ray Allen, fucking Cole Anthony. That was probably a shit one. RJ Hampton, Embiid, who's not really sleeping out, and I'm just gonna say KG because I don't think KG gets enough love.
I'm with you on that point too. Yeah, he's gonna get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so I reckon he's a good one as well. So beauty. So there are our questions asked to us. Now we're over to the hard hitting one. Now I've done some research here because when the boy puts something out on his socials, all right, we always see it. So we got to respond. And last time he posed us the question, Luka the Don versus Kylian Mbappe. This time he posed the question, not to us, he put it on his socials, but we said, you know what? We're going to answer it again for him. And he was happy enough through the DMs. He said, bloody oath. Can't wait to hear you talk about it. But 2003. What have I done here? I think I fucked it up.
2003 Mega Cracks
there it is.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
2003 Topps Chrome LBJ PSA 10 versus a 2003 Panini Sports Cristiano Ronaldo Mega Cracks
PSA 10.
PSA 10.
And at the time when he posted it, what were they selling for? It was like both around. One was 31K, one was 40K, 47.
Yeah, 40K. Yeah.
But I think
31 for Ronaldo, 47 for LeBron. It's on his page.
So
I'm pretty sure.
The Ronaldo Mega Cracks only has a pop of 38, right? Just remember that, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
And what he queried, which would you rather? Well, I had a pop of 38. I'm taking the Cristiano Ronaldo every day of the week.
Now,
especially at the last sold price, which when he posted this was 47,000. Now, if I could have got one for say 100K, I would be willing to go. I'd pay it. But then, what did we have, Domma?
all right, now we've got. So it went up to 200K, that Ronaldo card,
It
which
sold
is
for
amazing.
2,338, I think.
No, 205, I think it was.
205,
I think. Anyway, so Anthony posted that, and Anthony Collects on Instagram. Now, I've done some research, and as we did with Luca the Don and Killian, we're going to do a comp. So, for everyone out there that's losing their marbles right now or that's going to listen to this and be like, you two have lost your fucking marbles. Like, I'm taking LeBron over Ronaldo. That's fine. Just remember, pop 38. Yeah? There's a pop 38. Now, I'm going to read you some shit. I'm going to read you this shit. At the end...
I'm doing a bit of research in the background, Domma, so don't worry. We've got some nuts to post at the end.
If you say to me and Saucy at the end, after I read these all to you, you're still going to take the LeBron James? Happy to have you DM us or come on the show and tell us why. LeBron James, 36 years old, 4 titles, 4 finals MVPs, 4 regular season MVPs, 16-time All-Star, 3-time All-Star MVP, 13-time All-NBA First Team, 1-time scoring champion, 4-time AP Athlete of the Year, 3-time Sports Illustrated Man of the Year, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 3rd all-time scoring in the history of the NBA, all-time leader in scoring in playoff NBA. He's got other accolades there that awards given to him, whatnot, All-NBA second teams, first teams, whatever, yeah? Now, Ronaldo, because I'm going to go base on this because it's cups. He wins silverware, like titles, championships, all right? International accolade. He won the Euro with Portugal. 2019 UEFA Nations League winner, 2-time Best FIFA Men's Player of the Year, 5 Ballon d'Ors, which, mind you, a Ballon d'Or is the greatest soccer player in the world. As mentioned in the Mbappe-Doncic comp, when you win an MVP, you're the MVP of the NBA, not of basketball. He is the best player in football globally. Ronaldo, 5 times he's done that. 3 times UEFA Best European Player, 17-time top scorer of his league, 5-time Player of the Year, 10 times Footballer of the Year, 5 times Champions League winner, which is, I know, Colin, you said a World Cup means everything, but I tell you what, people hold in regard Champions Leagues a lot higher than a fucking World Cup. I can assure you that much. So do your research into soccer. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but Champions Leagues are what players play for. You win a World Cup, yeah, it's a cherry on top. 3-time Premier League champion, 1-time FA Cup, 2 English League Cups, 2 Spanish La Ligas, 2 Spanish Cups, 2 Spanish Super Cups, 2-time Serie A champion, 2-time Super Cup, Italian Super Cup champion, 4-time FIFA Club World Cup champion, 3-time UEFA Super Cup winner, 2-time English Super Cup winner. Far out.
That was a lot.
And he's 35 years old. And he's still dominating. LeBron's still dominating as well. But Pop's 38. How many is the Pop for LeBron?
2,071.
The only thing that's gone for LeBron, the card, is it looks a hell of a lot nicer than the Ronaldo card. I don't like Ronaldo in the Sporting Lisbon jersey. It looks shit. It should be in a United jersey. But that's what I got there. So we're going based on optics. Ronaldo supersedes LeBron by a mile. I understand LeBron's the best basketball player on the planet, but that's regarded by us based on the one league he plays in.
So Domma, I'll just break some numbers down for you, right? So the sale was $210,330 for the Ronaldo Mega Cracks PSA 10, right?
Yeah.
Now, that sale was confirmed by Mr. Golden himself, Ken, and hasn't been updated on the card ladder platform. So I did a bit of additional maths and worked it out. That now brings Ronaldo's market cap at a PSA 10 level to 7,922,540. Right? LeBron's market cap is 141,800. Right? For Ronaldo to reach the same market cap as LeBron, his card would have to go for $1.95 million. $1,951,100 per card for him to reach the same market cap. That card is so undervalued, even at $200,000, it is a joke. That card should be up over $500,000, maybe $700,000, maybe even $1 million. In the terms of what Ronaldo means to the sport of soccer and the generational talent, the GOAT, as you've said so many times, that card is still undervalued, in my opinion. And that is why, at this point in time, I genuinely think that Ronaldo is an unbelievable buy. The fact that the pop report is under 50 on a PSA 10 level is
If you have the
ridiculous.
money,
Ridiculous.
it's only going to go up. This is Ronaldo we're talking about. This is the GOAT. Like, I don't know. Like, it was proven that people wanted the Ronaldo because the value of the card's worth more. But it's more of a watch this space and just keep your eye on recent sales on this card coming in the next month or so. Also, pay attention to the Euros. Portugal's got a pretty good team. There's potential for them to win that with Ronaldo, João Felix, Bruno Fernandes, and they got a couple others in there that are fucking guns as well.
Domma, we can even go.
What's his name? My boy, Diogo Jota.
Jota. We can even have a look at the Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10 LeBron James, and that's last sold was 115,000. So that's considered obviously a higher in regards to if you want the refractor. And I genuinely think the next sale of that card, whatever it may be, could potentially be $500,000, considering there's only 171 on the market.
Pretty good. That's probably a better comp in terms of like the thing, but I understand what Anthony was trying to point out. That's the base, yeah. That's what, in comparison to the Ronaldo card, it's just a base card. If that Ronaldo card was as a pop of 38 for the base there, just imagine if it had a refractor and the pop would have been less than 30. That card would already be like astronomical. The fact that the pop's 38, the market cap's at 7 mil, and it's selling for 210k, USD. There's a lot of room for it to grow. That card.
And I'll tell you something, Domma. I genuinely think that anyone out there, if you want to get a piece of this Ronaldo market, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, there's some cards.
No. Go buy the 2002 Panini sticker, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just a mugshot sticker, but it's still last sold at a PSA 10 level was only $1,126. Now, I think it could go up a little bit, but at a PSA 10 level, that sticker has a pop report of 21. There is 21 PSA 10 Ronaldo rookie stickers. We heard the great man Gary Vee talk about the pop culture that was sticker collecting in terms of soccer, and it's always been like a sticker based collection market. And now obviously cards are coming into it, but the history has been with stickers. I just genuinely think for a rookie sticker that is so ridiculously underpriced, and that's just the last sale what I'm seeing off on Card Ladder. So I'm hoping that they are correct, which I think. I will just double check.
They are. I have full faith in Card Ladder. But Literally, it's a great question. I'm going Ronaldo. Source is going Ronaldo. The pop's just too good. The market cap is just too good for that card. And I'm not obviously LeBron's no slouch, but what Ronaldo has behind him on the world stage, uh, unfortunately for LeBron fans, outweighs his accomplishments and accolades by a long shot. This is the guy, but they're very similar in retrospect in some parts. Whatever team they go to, they dominate in. They always have success at whatever team they go to. They're able to lead their team. Both of them, they're great leaders, no matter what team they go to. Like, they're very similar.
Yeah, Dom, I
Terms of
genuinely think that's could be wrong, and they haven't updated that for a while, Dom.
Okay. So it could be
Yeah,
worth more.
it will be a hell of a lot more than that now. I think it could
Yeah.
be a shit ton more because I've just typed it in and typed in some of the lower ones. Like, I mean, even a BGS 8 is going for 5,800. But I genuinely think that's still undervalued in terms of the Ronaldo market. If you can get a decent grade in this sticker, you can afford it.
Bloody hell.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm just looking at BGS. I haven't even typed in PSA. Let's just see the
I just
absolute.
think, yeah, Ronaldo is just, and as we said, with that market over in Europe, with more product going in and stuff, more eyes are going to be on soccer over there. And as you know, it's a soccer continent through and through. Um, I just expect it to explode. A lot of people reckon that it's going to fall off. I've heard a few people say that their Kylian Mbappe World Cup card wasn't a good buy. It would drop off completely. It's not going to, unfortunately, if he keeps winning. I
Correct.
just think it's a good buy, that Mbappe, because it was the first World Cup he played in, the first World Cup he won. And if he can, as Source says, goats are constant and sustained success in their sport. And Mbappe, he's like 22 years old and he's dominating. So if he can have sustained success for a long, long period of time, um, I think that card severely outweighs its deniers in the hobby by a long shot. If the hobby continues on the trajectory it's going, that is. Who knows? We don't know what. Let's say Mbappe retires in 10 years. We don't know where we're at in 10 years. So I'd love to know that. But he's definitely Ronaldo, set in stone. He's a vintage guy, technically, that's still playing. Like LeBron. I consider them like a vintage buy because they've pretty much accomplished their career and they're just adding stuff for the fun of adding stuff at the moment. So it's only going to get better. It's not going to get worse. They can't take away any of this shit that he's won. So Ronaldo for me, Ronaldo for Sauce, and Anthony collects once again. Good work, and thank you very much. Appreciate it. Very nice. All right, Sauce. Been gone for 2 hours. We've got
2 hours and 10 minutes, and
we've got a Saucy Smokey. What do we got?
we don't really have a Saucy Smokey, so I don't really want to throw a Smokey out there that I'm not 100%.
All right, all right.
But I can give you something that I purchased this week. I was happy to have it, and I'm back on my boy JJJ. I'm still looking at his cards, and I picked up another Prism variant, Prism Fast Break variant. I only picked up the PSA 9. No eyes on him. Picked it up dirt cheap. PSA 9, $76, 76 USD. Prism Fast Break variant. I just couldn't see where this goes wrong. I genuinely cannot. It just comes back, plays a few good games, and if you don't, want to collect JJJ, we just want to flip him and buy some of his desired rookie cards now. I mean, I was buying them a while ago. Actually, it's funny enough, though, I seen a sale. I picked up a PSA 10. I believe it's the disco variant.
Yeah.
Number to 175, the blue one. I think we may have
Yeah.
posted
Yeah, you
in
posted
the
that.
spotlight.
Yeah, it's in the spotlight.
Yeah, I think I paid about. I think it cost me about 700 AUD. I paid. And I was just
Yeah.
seeing a sale just the other day for the same card, same grade, 900 USD. So, the market in some respects has gone up a little bit on him, but there's a lot of stuff out there that you can pick up a bargain. I think I've seen a lot of optic base cards, PSA 9 level, I think, go for $63. The fact that you can buy, like, just think about this, Domma. 12 months ago, I was buying Trey Young PSA 9 optic base cards for $20.
Here it is.
$20 graded. $20, $22 I bought them.
Anyone watching that watches the YouTube, that's it, isn't
the
it?
one. That's the card. Yep, that is the card. So then I was picking those Trey Youngs up for $20. I think I paid $22 for a few of them, PSA 9s. And, you know, here we are with Jaren Jackson, something similar. We could potentially have a breakout when he comes back. You know, optic base card, PSA 9 level, sitting around about $30. I mean, market's gone up a shitload since 12 months ago. So, you know, only an extra $10 on for that sort of potential. You know, that's a buy every day of the week for me. Like, you know, so I just still genuinely think that with Jaren Jackson, there's still so much upside if you don't collect him. But if you do collect him, I mean, you already know. You know. So,
and I've bought jack shit, so.
And until he buys a Wayne Carey and he brings that on as his Smokey.
Yeah.
Wayne Carey, these people in America be like, who the hell is Wayne Carey?
Hey, you get Wayne Carey for $33, mate. That's a joke. Anyway, I'm going to do some research. I'm going to look up Lockett and G. Ablett Sr. And I could have something for the AFL fans out there next week. I'll tell you what, could be onto something.
I'm telling you, we're going to have to start looking at it a little bit in our own backyard, Domma. We've neglected it for long enough, I think.
I think we've got some hidden gems, mate, hiding there, and we can kick them straight through the middle for some 6 points, I reckon. As long as we're not kicking like Brisbane, freaking 18 behinds a game, we should be all right with a few hits. Just vintage and stay safe. Anyway, another pod. Done and dusted. Thank you again for all the support. Obviously, getting us to 500 followers. As I said, massive stuff coming up. And stay tuned. And look forward to bringing you more exciting, entertaining, and great hobby content. With Sauceys ranting and bagging James Harden every week for probably the next until the end of the season, which will be fun. But anyway, keep living, loving, and breathing all sports. Double coverage. It's been Dom, the great man Sauce, and peace.
Peace out, ladies and gents.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.